Hey everyone, this is Black6 from BZPower, back here with another set review. Today we've got one of the 2016 Bionicle sets, namely 71304 Terak, the Creature of Earth. So this set contains 74 pieces and will be retailing for $9.99 US in the States. The first thing I noticed when I got the box is that the material, the cardboard, is a lot sturdier than the 2015 Bionicle sets, so you don't have to worry about the packaging getting squished if it gets shipped to you or on store shelves. You can see that it is really not going anywhere. Of course, we've got the Bionicle logo kind of redesigned for 2016 with the Mask of Ultimate Power on there. We've got the set's name here. We've got the age range and set number, no piece count because this is the European box. We've got the creature front and center here. Lots of gold, trans purple, black. We've got one of these little enemies that they're fighting in the new year on there. In the background, we can see we've got a Nua over there and a couple more of those creatures attacking him. And we have got a mask over here that I assume golden mask that a Nua is trying to get. The top, we do still have the kind of tag or pop-up tab, so you can hang this on pegs on store shelves. The bottom, nothing too exciting there. Moving on to the back, we can see that if you get the Creature of Earth and a Nua, you can pop one onto the back of the other to kind of make an easy combiner model. Then we got some play features, so it looks like his arms can move. Maybe they're supposed to be wings that they flap. Got a 1-to-1 scale picture of his mask. And we've got the little guy over here. I'm not sure quite what it's supposed to be. I think we've seen the name somewhere, but I do not remember it offhand. Apologies. And then, of course, we got the name in a whole bunch of different languages. In the bottom right, I don't believe we saw this on the 2016 packaging. We've got the Buildable Figures logo. We did see this on the Star Wars construction sets, so I think this is something that they're trying to do now to kind of put them all in the same kind of category, the Star Wars buildable figures and the Bionicle, and maybe we'll see some other ones for other lines like Nexo Knights. Maybe we'll see some superhero ones again. Anyway, the set is sealed, a couple pieces of tape, so I've got my handy dandy X-Acto to pop that open. Trying to keep the packaging in decent shape. And then there's a couple tabs here. I can see that this one kind of ripped a little bit because of the pop-up tab. Not too big of a deal. And then you can see, I think these things definitely help with the reinforcement to keep the sets, and you've got a couple more to keep the sets from collapsing. Because once you remove those, you can see it moves pretty easily. So just those little couple extra pieces of cardboard do a whole lot to make those boxes more sturdier. Alright, so inside we have got the instruction manual, same artwork as the front. On the back, Tahu lets you know you can win. Interesting that this looks like last year's Tahu, but it must be the powered up version because he has the stud shooter on it. Opening it, so there was no comic on the packaging, but there is a comic in here. So we've got Umarak the Hunter with all his little clawy guys. This creature comes, he's kind of guarding the mask, and then a Nua comes to reclaim it. Then he powers up and is able to defeat Umarak. Normal kind of safety tips, and then we've got all the instructions. Yay! We've got instructions, looks like, on how to use the features. We've got the part inventory, and then we've got an advertisement for Umarak the Hunter, who comes with the Mask of Ultimate Power. Yay! Download the app for lego.com/Bionicle, Google Play App Store, Netflix, so advertising the Power of One, the show that will be coming out on Netflix next year. And then showing that you can unite him with a Nua for battle, then showing off all the other Toa with their creatures as well. And then we've got a nice spread of all 6 Toa and their respective creatures, and Umarak already got his nice call out, so I guess that's all you need. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a closer look at these pieces. So here we've got the parts in Terak, the Earth creature, or Creature of Earth. As I mentioned before, there are 74 of them. Since this is one of the first times we're looking at one of the 2016 sets, there's quite a few new molds for us to look at. So we'll start with its head or mask piece. So this is dual molded in gold and transparent purple, or I believe transparent bluish violet. It has a socket connector on the inside. It has a hole here that will fit a bar. And then it has two clips on the side here, so quite a few connection points, so that's cool. You can see this is kind of supposed to be its head and not a mask, I guess, because there are eyes here. There's some very nice kind of detailed molding on here with these different kind of tribal symbols, reminiscent of the Nuva symbols, which we've kind of seen hinted at in some of the artwork that we've seen. Definitely this seems like a good piece with a good bit of different posability. Interested to see when we build this set if, you know, how the kind of bottom jaw attaches, if there is one, or if this is just going to kind of end up being pretty hollow here, which I hope it does not. All right, next up we've got the new armor piece, which is actually also dual molded. It is gold and transparent clear, just a little bit at the top here. Not a lot, you know, it's kind of got a rocky crystalline look to it. Like there are kind of crystals coming out of the earth that are growing on this creature. And a lot of connection points that we see here. On the back we have your two normal pegs that would fit on an armor piece, such as this transparent purple number 4 shell, which is included in the set. You can see that that will pop on there nicely, and that you know, if you want, you can pop it on the other way too for a different look. And I'm kind of curious. So the set also includes some of these clip pieces, if those will fit on here. So not really. You know, if you're building, I guess it kind of fits right like that, but because of the way it's shaped, it's actually flat on the inside here. So if you try to rotate it, it loses its clutch. But for all you builders out there, I'm sure you'll be able to make use of that connection point. Okay, let's see, what else have we got? We've got this new kind of torso armor piece based on the set box picture. Has a couple Technic holes on here, 2 axle holes and a pinhole there, and those all go right through. This kind of actually, to me, does not fit with a CCBS mentality because it does not have a ball or socket connector, or you know, those peg holes. So like you can't attach this onto it unless you put in some Technic half pins perhaps. You know, you can't attach this easily to a you know, one of the arm pieces because there's no socket connector. Definitely captures, I think, the classic Bionicle look with the pistons and the kind of the ridges and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Similar to the last piece, it looks like because of this piece right here, this kind of piece of plastic, you can't really clip anything onto that, nor can you clip onto those really easily. I mean, I'm sure there's some illegal connections you can make out of it, but I like the piece. It just is kind of odd to me that it does not fit well with the whole CCBS system. All right, and I think that is all of the, oh, I think there's one more new piece in here that I saw before. Where did it go? So we've got this piece, which is, you know, one of the 16-tooth gears that we've seen before, but it has a Technic axle on it. So it's an interesting combination, and I look forward to seeing how this is used. I assume it's going to be part of the action feature. Oh, and then we've also got these guys for the little attacker that comes in the set. Again, it's got a good classic Bionicle aesthetic, you know, with these pistons going on. This one does have clips that are actually clips on here, so you can see that those will snap on there. It has a Technic axle on there, and then 2, I believe these are our pinholes. We'll see. Yep, so a Technic pin will fit in there. And the way they're designed, you can see that this one is on the far left, and so is that one. So if you have a matching one, they can go together, and they can make this cool kind of chomping thing. That'd be great for mouths on mocks and things like that. I'm sure we'll see a lot of people using this to good effect in the future. As far as recolors, so you guys saw the number 4 transparent purple armor piece. We also have the Chima claws in purple, which I think is a new color for this piece. And we also have these pieces in purple, which I don't believe are new, but I'm going to show them off anyway because trans purple is a beautiful color. Other than that, there's not a lot of other new or any new parts I'm aware of. You've got the smallest torso for CCBS. You've got the smaller creature feet from Invasion from Below Hero Factory. You've got the big kind of paw hand piece, a couple of those in black. And we've got some normal CCBS limbs. Got some other gears, a bunch of little different Technic connectors and pieces that kind of go into, I'm sure, the play features, some Technic axles, but nothing else too exciting. But definitely quite a few new pieces in this wave of sets. So enough of the pieces though, let's get building and see what the final set is like. And here we've got the finished set. We'll start looking at this little guy here. So he uses a little click hinge to hold the two halves together, in addition to a couple half Technic pins. He's got the classic red Baraki eye. I don't think I pointed these out in the new piece section, but he does have these unicorn horns, and I believe it is like a pearl silver color. I'm not sure if that's new or not, but worth pointing out. And you get 4 plus an extra. So because of the bar connection, you can move the legs around a little bit, do some posability, and then of course the click hinge allows you to open him up, and then he'll stay in different positions. And because of the way the legs are, and there's quite a long range of motion, even when it's open, he can still easily kind of still stand. Although the Terak, not necessarily. So you can put this in pretty much any position you want, and then adjust the legs appropriately, and he will stand there. All right, moving on to Terak. He's pretty interesting looking. Definitely with the large hands with the claws, looks like an underground creature that has developed and adapted these for tunneling through dirt and rock. Kind of adds with the crystal vibe. The transparent purple claws, nice touch here. Head, I was a little afraid when we were looking at the part that it would end up kind of hollow underneath, and it does. If you pose it just right, it doesn't look too bad. But if you pose it, I guess if you can kind of pop his head down over there, so it kind of looks a little squat. But there's different poses you can do to make it not look so empty. I do like that they use the claw pieces on those bars to kind of give him ears, which you can move around to kind of give him different expressions. The legs are very simple, only 2 points of articulation. They do have this claw on the side to kind of give it a little something more. Maybe some of these trans purple claws on the front would have been nice. The gold armor piece looks pretty nice. Attaches with quite a bit of Technic on the back here. You can see the back is pretty much entirely Technic. I assume that they don't use the pinholes on there, so the pinholes can be used to attach to the Anua Uniter of Earth set, so they can kind of get that feature going on. So he's got a little tail here, but this is actually part of the action feature. So if you lift up on the tail, his arms, you can see, go up. So by moving the tail, he can kind of, I guess, dig. I assume on some of these it's used as kind of like wing flapping so they can fly, but for a creature of Earth it makes the most sense that he's using that to dig. So quite a lot of Technic in here. I think Bionicle is definitely getting back to its roots, especially compared to some of the earlier to mid-range Hero Factory sets that featured relatively little Technic pieces. This one has quite a lot, basically this entire back section on here, which I think No, it's on there pretty good, so you're not going to be able to pop that off just to take a look at it. But quite a lot going on there, and it works like a charm. You know, there's a good bit of friction in here, so if I put it halfway, the hands will stay up there until I start playing with it. But if you want to pose it in one of these positions and just put it on a shelf or something, you'll be able to. Another thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the exposed balls from the torso here. I don't think there's much they could have done about it. If they had, you know, some more budget for some more parts, maybe some number 3 armor shells could have fit on there to kind of fill that out a little. So yeah, I'd say that, you know, that the empty head are my 2 biggest drawbacks on the set, but I don't think they're very large, and if you're posing him just right, then you can hardly notice it. I do think he's got quite a good bit of posability. You know, 2 points on the legs, 2 points on the arms, plus the 4 fingers, and a couple points of articulation on the head, and then you've got the action feature. So that's quite a bit jammed in there. And from a playability perspective, in addition to all that, you know, you have, let's get him standing there. He is kind of difficult to stand because his arms are so kind of heavy and awkward and his feet are so small. But in addition to the Terak, you have this little guy that can attack him. I assume this is supposed to kind of like rip off masks, but since this is attached via socket on a ball joint, you know, you're not going to be able to rip that off very easily. But he can still, I guess, kind of grab on to Terak's face and kind of try to eat him. So that's definitely some playability features in here, which are definitely welcome, similar to the Skull Spiders of last year. It's really nice to be able to buy one set, especially a $10 set, no less, and have kind of 2 factions that can duke it out and that you can play with right out of the box. So anyway, you know, if you're looking for some trans purple parts or just, you know, any of the new sets, I think Terak is a good pickup at only $10. Offers quite a wide selection of parts, quite a bit of playability, and like we can see here, the role play features as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. You know, if you want, you can check out the full review on BZPower, where we'll have some high-res pictures and more in-depth thoughts as we've kind of slept on the set a little bit to look at it in more detail. And while you're over there, make sure you check out the rest of the site. Got an active front page posting different LEGO news every day, and very active discussion forums where people are talking about the new Bionicle 2016 and other 2016 sets that are coming out, sharing their creations, their mocks, their artwork, playing games, all sorts of different fun things. If you're looking for an active LEGO community, BZPower is definitely worth your time. And then, of course, if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel, we'd appreciate it. It will give you notifications as soon as we post even more Bionicle 2016 reviews and other videos as we post them to our channel. I think that about wraps it up. We have the rest of the Bionicle 2016 line in the wings waiting to be reviewed, so keep checking back on BZPower.com and our YouTube channel to see all of those as soon as we post them. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you next time.